It certainly sent every general manager scrambling to see what kind of deal they could make. As to the response in New Orleans, he's their coach, Alvin Gentry.
He understands that, it's part of the business. And, for us, he's still under contract with us, like I said. And when he gets healthy, he'll play.
Anthony's always been professional, and he's always been professional with us. And even more so, he's been friends and like a brother. So whatever decision he makes, I can't be upset with him. And I know this is a business, but he's doing what's best for him.
All right, so here's an official statement from it does not usually get to this, folks. The Pelicans released a statement yesterday relative to specific talks of a trade. We will do this on our timeline, one that makes sense for our team and will not be dictated by those outside our organization. We have also requested the league to strictly enforce the tampering rules associated with this transaction. So it figures to potentially get ugly here. Let's bring in the man who broke the news yesterday, our NBA insider, Adrian Wojnarowski. Woj, so just 24 hours ago, you report the story. What can you bring us right now? What is the very latest?
Greeny, the Pelicans' mindset headed into at least the trade deadline next Thursday is that they've got to be overwhelmed by an offer to do a trade for Anthony Davis before February 7th. Otherwise, they will take this into the spring. They will finish the season with Anthony Davis, and then they'll continue to solicit offers, right into the draft and maybe up to July 1.
Your friend and mine, Mr. Brian Windhorst, came on the show at the very end yesterday and got me all excited by bringing the Knicks into the conversation. Just the mention of the word New York Knicks and Anthony Davis got me interested, which leads to the question, are there any other places you could see Anthony Davis being willing to re-sign if he were dealt there besides the Lakers?
Sometimes players will have an opinion about a potential place, and it changes once they get there. That happened with Paul George with Oklahoma City when he was traded there and decided not to go on to L.A. in free agency. So there are teams measuring the idea of Anthony Davis as a rental, and certainly New York is, for a player of his stature, that kind of market, that kind of stage, that certainly has an appeal, but it's very much a rebuilding team. New York probably doesn't have the assets to do a deal for Anthony Davis. I think maybe the one pathway for the Knicks would be if they got the #1 overall pick and the idea of Zion Williamson to rebuild around appeal to the Pelicans. But short of that, I don't think Kristaps Porzingis makes sense in a trade because I'm not sure New Orleans would be able to re-sign him.
One more thing I'd like to ask, and that is, what is the reaction you're hearing around the league from small market teams? The grumbling has begun, and on one level, I certainly understand it. What are you hearing?
I think the frustration among the smaller market teams, and this has been ongoing for really a couple years now, is the idea that players who have multiple years left on their contracts are looking to get out of their situations. There's a feeling that bigger markets are recruiting these players, tampering well ahead of free agency, and now it's, it used to be maybe in the final year of your deal. Now it's 2 years, with 2 years left. When is it going to be 3 years left on a deal? That's the frustration of smaller market teams right now.